True paranormal. My grandmother's haunted house. This happened in 2011 when I was 7. I'm a girl, now 14, and I just talked to my mother about this incident and decided to share it. So, I lived with my grandmother, father, mother and 2 dogs quite far from any town. The house was big, so I usually play hide and seek with my mom a lot. I don't remember which month it was, so my mom filled me in on this. She said it was October, during the holidays, this one particular day. My dad was out driving my grandma to the hospital, as she had an appointment with the doctor, so I was left alone with my mom. After several rounds of hide and seek and watching a movie with my mom, it began to get dark outside, and my dad still wasn't home. I've always been scared of potential home invasions, so I was paranoid all day because my dad wasn't with us. He made me feel very safe. Me and my mom decided to play Monopoly. Fast forward an hour. When I was 7, I thought I was very sly, so I kept stealing money from my mom's stash. Now that I look back, she was probably pretending not to see, as I was taking a $50 bill from her Monopoly cash, she said. The power will go out soon. This left me completely puzzled as I had no idea how she'd know this, but sure enough, it went out about 15 minutes later, and I started to panic, because as most little kids I'm scared of the dark. I later found out that there was a power outage in my area because of a storm, and my mom was notified of it. She handed me this Nokia phone and let me play my favorite game on it, which at the time was Doom. She told me to go hide under the bed sheets if I'm scared, and that she'll be back soon. I asked where she's going, but she didn't answer. As she head out the room, she locked the door. I laid under the sheets, killing some monsters on the game for what felt like hours, but was probably only 5 minutes. Footsteps were heard in the kitchen, which was next to the room I was in, so I took the sheets off my head and yelled out, "Mom?" Glad that she's back because I was really scared, but no answer was heard. The footsteps didn't stop, so I yelled again, "Mom, can you please come?" I'm scared. After I had said that, the footsteps stopped completely. I got a sudden rush of adrenaline, so I held tight onto the phone and dashed out the room to the kitchen, which was empty. I was left puzzled, but didn't wait for long as I ran to the door. Unlocked it as there's keys on the inside too, and ran to the corridor. Alright, so the corridor has 4 doors. On the right side, one at the very back which I never was allowed to go in. I later learned that the room was where my great-grandma died, and no one touched it ever since. It also had stairs next to it leading to the 2nd floor, and one at the front, which led to the outside. The 4th door I came through was the closest to the outside door, so I quickly opened the outside door, ready to run out, but the rush of adrenaline was gone, and I got scared of the outside too. It was very dark, and I was barely able to see. My only choices were 1. Go back to the room I came from. 2. Scream for my mother. I chose number 2 and started screaming for Mom over and over again. I guess I wasn't loud enough because there were no replies. I remember starting to sweat and panic, different scenarios playing through my little head, scenarios like a murderer killing my mom and coming for me next, or my mom leaving me forever. I know, stupid, but I was only 7 after all. I remember looking down at my feet and beginning to cry. More footsteps were heard, but this time behind me. I looked behind me and saw a silhouette of a tall person. I'm assuming it's a male due to the body build, at the end of the hallway, standing in front of the door. I can't recall what he looked like because it was all black. I stared at him for about 15 seconds in pure horror. This got my adrenaline pumping again, and I ran out of the door, towards the outside toilet, only to be greeted by my mother, who looked worried as hell. After I told her what happened through uncontrollable sobs, my dad was in the driveway already parking his car. My granny was left at the hospital for some treatment. He searched the house, but no one was found, so my mom told me it was just my imagination, but I know what I saw and heard. Fast forward 7 more years, I live in another house, and I randomly remembered about this incident and talked to my mom about it. She seemed quite hesitant about telling me this, but at the end I convinced her to tell me. What she said gave me chills, apparently. When I was 4, I started to stare at one particular corner in the kitchen and log like crazy. My mom asked me what's so funny, and every time I point to the same corner but never told her why it was funny. After a few months, the random giggles I let out when staring at the corner didn't stop. What made my mom lose it was the fact that I started speaking random German words that I've never heard before. We have no relatives that are German or can speak German, and I wasn't introduced to technology at that age either. My mother knew it's German because she can actually speak a little bit, but never spoke it. She bribed me with candy to tell her how I learned to say the following words in German. It helped: chocolate shower and war. My response completely shocked her. I pointed to the same corner again and said he taught me how. My mom kept her cool though. She asked me who I was talking about, and I said the man who makes me laugh. My mom asked me what he looked like, but I only said he looks like a shadow and that he's from Germany. When she asked where the man lived, I pointed to the second floor. This all made sense because I always hated the second floor and never went up there because I felt like I was being watched. My parents took it upon themselves to Google the history of the house, and sure enough, it was built by Germans. I don't remember any of this, but my mom kept on reassuring me it happened. My father said he remembers it too, but decided not to tell me until now. I talked to the German man in the corner up until 5 years of age. I'm pretty sure you can put 2 and 2 together, but if not, the man I saw when I was 7 was the same man I talked to when I was 4. Every time I go back to visit my grandma I always feel uneasy. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button to support my work. And as always, enjoy the fear, my dear.